And this is how you record an audio commentary off of a Laserdisc. And there's my Laserdisc player. I'm going to use the Idle Maker, which is a CLV disc, in other words, 1 hour on each side. That features an audio commentary by director Taylor Hackford. Putting the disc in. I have a Pioneer player. Not all players are going to look exactly like this, but you get the idea. In order to set up the recording, I'm going to need a Y cable, which is a RCA cable to the headphone jack. So you got your red and your white, in this case a black and a red, and your headphone jack. And that's the basically microphone end of it. So the red and the black are going to go in the back of my Laserdisc player, which you can see kind of out of focus on the right there. So I'm going to take that portion of it, and I'm going to plug it in the audio end, the red and the white. And then I have my headphone jack to go in my recording device. In this case, I'm going to have a Zoom H4n, a little fancy thing, but you don't need to use something like that. You can use something more basic like this Olympus, or anything really with a microphone in option like this does. This is a digital recorder, but you can have a cell phone or anything. Here I'm using the external mic on the Zoom H4n, and I'm checking the levels, the recording levels, to make sure that it is going to pick up the loudest portion of the signal. I'm also using the headphone jack because I want to be able to check that I'm getting the right track, because some cases, as in the Idle Maker, it's going to be, I'm going to hit the audio button on the remote, and I'm picking up a signal there, as you can see. Some cases, it's going to be, I'm going to hit the audio button, here it comes. Analog left, in some cases analog right, in this case it's analog left, and now I check with the headphones to make sure I can hear the director is talking, and he is indeed talking. So that's when I press record. And again, you can use any kind of recording device. I'm just happen to using this. Now, you don't have to be watching the movie the entire time. It can be in this case, it's a CLV disc, which is up to 1 hour on each side. And so it's important to know the chapter right before the disc ends. So you're going to see, I'm looking here, and what the last chapter on side 1 is, and that is chapter 19, as you can see. Born with It. And side 2 starts at chapter 20. So if I fast forward to chapter 19, I can see it's at 57 minutes approximately, and fast forward a little bit, so we can see exactly where it ends. 58, 59. So 59:33, and then it ends. So that's when you flip it. You can keep the recording going and then just edit out the silence later. Now, this is a CLV disc, and we're going to do a CAV disc next. And the important thing to remember is that, not all Laserdisc players will remember that you were using that particular audio track analog left. So you might want to check it before it plays again. But I can see that the signal is being picked up, and I check it in the audio. So now I'm going to try a CAV disc. I'm taking out this particular disc of the Idle Maker, and I'm going to put in a Criterion version of Casablanca, which has on analog track 2, analog right, an audio commentary by Ronald Haver. So let's go past the logo because the commentary wouldn't have started yet. And fast forward, and now we have movie, so he would have started to talk. And here's the difference between a CLV and a CAV disc. It's not just that the CLV disc is an hour and the CAV disc is up to 30 minutes, and you saw there analog right. I can check, and you can hear that he is talking. Let's look at the, it's not at time, it's frames. So it's chapter 1, but it's 1900 frames, and unless you want to do the math, it's not easy to figure out. Just know that it's going to be up to a half an hour, close to 25 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there. And of this 4-sided disc, the last chapter on side 1 is chapter 8. So that's when I would know when to pay close attention. So now you know how to record the disc and or any audio from a Laserdisc. As you can see, the frame rate going up.